Okay. So let's go ahead and look at this diagram up here. I call this model development view. I actually developed this model specifically to help people understand how they're actually developed over time. Okay, and this you, that's you, okay? So, you have a belief system. This is how it all starts out. I like the concept that Nishan used talking about the butterfly. And I want to look at this from infancy. When you talk about this little girl that was beautiful, from infancy to adolescent to adulthood. In infancy, that's your, I want to call that your foundation, your core to development. That's when you're learning how to be social, right? You learn how to speak, you learn how to walk. That's your foundation to developing your social life. When you move into adolescent years, you're learning responsibility, you're learning what's important in life, but how are you learning those things? Through your belief system. What impacts your belief system? What influences your belief system? Your family, your peers, social network, what else? We can name tons of things. Religion, friends, I've already said that, peers, right? School, your education. All of these things are influencing your actual belief system of who you are. So, through this presentation, I'm going to actually talk a little bit about myself and how I actually developed to who I am today. Growing up, I didn't grow up in the best neighborhood. I didn't grow up with the best things. I actually grew up in a very poverty-stricken area, okay? And while I was growing up, one thing that I had that I see that a lot of kids don't have today is love. Although I grew up in this environment that wasn't so nice, my parents gave me love. They gave me encouragement. They gave me what I needed so that I could grow and develop and be who I am today. And in my mind, as a little girl, I told myself that I am going to be a family therapist. Okay? So what did I do? I put together a plan. You have to put together a plan. That's something you learn in adolescent years. Your parents teach you, if you want something, plan for it, right? So I put together this plan. And I went to school. In my middle school years, I know Nishan talked about he didn't pass all of his classes. I did pass all of my classes, but the grades may not have been so good, okay? So I would get by. Back then, you could pass with a D. So I would have a D on my progress report. I would get by with a C on occasion. Just on in the classes that I didn't like so much, okay? So finally a light bulb came on in my head one day when I took this report card home to my mom, and she saw I had like, I think 2 or 3 D's on there. And she really, you know, she looked at it and she said, well, if this is the best that you can do, then it'll be that. And that was kind of, I had to internalize what she said. And I had to ask myself the question, is this the best that I can do? Absolutely not. So the next year, I was promoted to high school. All of my instructors placed me in honors classes, okay? So from 9th grade to 12th grade, I was in all honors classes. When they first put me in those honors classes, I said, wow, you know, maybe they're setting me up. They're really setting me up for failure, right? Really, they were setting me up for success. So, just for the record, I went through high school in honors classes from 9th to 12th grade, and I made honor roll all the way through. As a matter of fact, I did so well with planning out my classes that I made sure every class that I took that was available related to my plan of being a family therapist. Then I went directly into college, stayed focused. Again, I keep referring to Nishan's speech earlier is because it was so impactful and is so touching and relates directly to what I'm here to talk about today. And with that planning, I went to school, enrolled in psychology. I completed my bachelor's degree, went directly into the program for graduate studies, got my master's in family therapy. Right now today, I'm a marriage and family therapist intern, okay? And that all happened through my transformative thinking of planning, okay? So not just being able to critically think through a situation. A lot of people are able to do that, right? And we call that, in simple terms, knowing right from wrong, right? So we know how to critically think, but how do you actually transform to do what you actually want to do? And that's what I did. I came out of that cocoon, I transformed into a butterfly by moving from one stage to the other, by keeping my mind on the prize, keeping my eyes on the prize. When you say transformative thinking, you have to take into consideration not only the thought process, but also the physical process of moving to make action occur, okay? To make action happen. So the change process is the most important part of the transformative thinking.